In 2019, my life took an unexpected turn. It was a year that started like any other, filled with the usual routines and expectations, but little did I know, everything was about to change in ways I could never have imagined. I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. The words hit me like a freight train, leaving me stunned and speechless. I had always considered myself relatively healthy, so this news was completely out of the blue. It felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. My mind was racing, trying to grasp the reality of the situation. How could this be happening to me? I felt a wave of emotions, fear, anger, confusion, all at once. Stage 4 meant the cancer had spread. It wasn't just confined to my colon, it had moved to other parts of my body. The doctor explained that this made the situation much more complicated and the treatment more challenging. It was a scary and uncertain time. The future seemed bleak, and I couldn't help but think about all the worst-case scenarios. The fear of the unknown was paralyzing, and I felt completely lost. I remember the doctor explaining the diagnosis. He was calm and compassionate, but the gravity of his words was undeniable. He laid out the facts clearly, but it was hard to take it all in. He said the cancer was advanced. The medical terminology was overwhelming, but the message was clear. I was in for the fight of my life. The doctor's concerned expression said it all. It had already moved beyond my colon. The scans showed the extent of the spread, and it was daunting to see the images. It was a stark reminder of the battle that lay ahead. The news was difficult to process. I spent hours sitting alone trying to make sense of it all. My mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions, and I felt completely overwhelmed. I had a million questions swirling in my head. What would the treatment be like? How would it affect my life? Would I be able to beat this? The uncertainty was almost unbearable, but even in the face of fear, I found a glimmer of hope. The doctor mentioned new treatments and advancements in medical science that could make a difference. It was a small light in the darkness. My medical team was optimistic. They were experienced and knowledgeable, and their confidence gave me a sense of reassurance. They believed in my ability to fight this, and that belief was contagious. They assured me that there were treatment options available. From chemotherapy to targeted therapies, there were multiple paths we could take. This gave me a sense of control in an otherwise uncontrollable situation. I knew I had a long and difficult road ahead. The journey would be tough, filled with ups and downs, but I was ready to face it head-on. I had no other choice but to be strong. But I was determined to fight with everything I had. I wasn't going to let this diagnosis define me. I was ready to take on the challenge, no matter how daunting it seemed. My family and friends rallied around me. Their support was unwavering, and it made all the difference. They were my rock, my source of strength and comfort during this difficult time. Their love and support gave me strength. Knowing that I had a strong support system made me feel less alone. It was a reminder that I had people who cared about me and were rooting for my recovery. I knew I wasn't alone in this fight. My loved ones were with me every step of the way, and their presence was a constant source of encouragement. Together, we were stronger, and that knowledge gave me the courage to face the challenges ahead. With my family, friends, and medical team by my side, I felt ready to take on whatever came my way. This was my battle, and I was prepared to fight it with everything I had. My cancer journey began with surgery. It was a daunting experience, knowing that I had to undergo such a major procedure. The medical team was incredibly supportive, explaining every step of the process to me and ensuring I was as comfortable as possible. The doctors removed the tumor in my colon. It was a meticulous operation, and I was in awe of the precision and care the surgeons exhibited. The surgery was successful, but it was just the beginning of my long road to recovery. It was a major procedure, and the recovery was tough. I spent several days in the hospital, surrounded by beeping machines and the constant hum of medical equipment. The pain was intense, but the nursing staff was always there to help manage it and provide comfort. But I was determined to get back on my feet. Physical therapy became a crucial part of my daily routine. Each small step felt like a monumental achievement, and I clung to the hope that I would regain my strength and independence. After surgery, I underwent several rounds of chemotherapy. It was grueling. The treatment room became a familiar place, with its sterile smell and the quiet determination of fellow patients. Each session was a battle, but I knew it was necessary to fight the cancer. The side effects were brutal. Chemotherapy took a toll on my body, leaving me feeling weak and drained. There were days when I could barely get out of bed and the constant nausea was a relentless companion. I experienced nausea, fatigue, and hair loss. Watching my hair fall out was particularly hard, as it was a visible reminder of the battle I was fighting. But I tried to stay positive, reminding myself that these were signs the treatment was working. But I pushed through, knowing that each treatment was a step towards recovery. The support of my loved ones was invaluable. They were my rock, providing encouragement and strength when I needed it most. In addition to chemotherapy, I also underwent a procedure called microwave tumor ablation. This was a newer treatment option, and I was both nervous and hopeful about its potential. This innovative treatment uses heat to destroy cancer cells. The idea of targeting the tumors directly with such precision was fascinating, and I placed my trust in the expertise of the medical team. It was a new approach, and I was hopeful that it would help. My doctor explained the procedure in detail, and I felt reassured by their confidence and knowledge. The initial treatment seemed to be working. The tumors were shrinking. Seeing the scan results gave me a renewed sense of hope and determination to keep fighting. I was starting to feel more like myself. Slowly, I began to regain my energy and could participate in light activities that I enjoyed. There was a sense of cautious optimism. Each positive step forward was a victory. But I remained aware of the challenges that still lay ahead. But I knew that cancer was a formidable foe. The journey was far from over, and I had to stay vigilant and proactive in my treatment and recovery, and I had to remain vigilant. Regular checkups and maintaining a health journal became part of my routine, ensuring that I stayed on top of my health and any changes that might occur. Just when I thought I was winning the battle, cancer reared its ugly head again. This time it had spread to my lungs. It was a devastating blow, but I refused to give up. I knew I had to keep fighting. My medical team recommended a combination of radiation therapy and additional chemotherapy. I underwent several rounds of radiation, targeting the tumors in my lungs. The chemotherapy drugs were adjusted to target the cancer in this new location. During this time, I also explored alternative treatment options. I traveled to Mexico to receive a specialized treatment that wasn't yet available in the United States. I was willing to try anything that offered a glimmer of hope. The treatment in Mexico was challenging. It involved a different approach than I was used to, and it came with its own set of side effects. I experienced extreme fatigue and even temporary loss of mobility. There were times when I felt discouraged. The side effects were taking a toll, and I was far from home and my support system. But I kept reminding myself why I was doing this. I was fighting for my life, and for the chance to see my loved ones again. Despite the challenges, I persevered. I knew that setbacks were a part of the journey and that giving up was not an option. I drew strength from the love of my family and friends, and I clung to the hope that I would overcome this obstacle. Section 5, a glimmer of hope, Erbitux and adrenal gland tumor removal. In 2021, I faced another setback, and a new tumor was discovered, this time on my adrenal gland. It felt like the cancer was relentless, but I refused to let it break me. I underwent surgery to remove the adrenal tumor. It was another major procedure, but I had been through so much already. I knew I could handle it. After surgery, my medical team recommended a new drug called Erbitux. It was a targeted therapy designed to block the growth of cancer cells. I was hopeful that this new treatment would be the answer to my prayers. Section 6, the turning point. Itraconizole's miraculous effects. Alongside Erbitux, my oncologist suggested an additional treatment. It was an antifungal medication called Itraconazole. I was initially skeptical. Why would an antifungal drug be used to treat cancer? My doctor explained that itraconazole had shown promise in clinical trials for inhibiting the growth of certain types of cancer cells. It was a long shot, but I was willing to try anything. To my astonishment, itraconazole had a remarkable effect. The tumors in my lungs began to shrink significantly. My energy levels increased, and I started to feel like my old self again. Section 7. Understanding itraconazole, waking up dormant cancer cells. It turned out that itraconazole works by targeting a specific pathway involved in cell growth and survival. This pathway is often hijacked by cancer cells, allowing them to proliferate uncontrollably. What makes Itraconazole particularly interesting is its ability to target dormant cancer cells. These are cells that have survived initial treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. They can remain inactive in the body for years before reactivating and causing a relapse. Itraconazole seems to wake up these dormant cells, making them vulnerable to other treatments like chemotherapy. It's like flushing out the enemy from hiding so they can be eliminated. Section 8. Looking forward, cancer-free and full of hope. Today I am proud to say that I am cancer-free. This journey has been one of the most challenging experiences of my life, but it has also been one of the most rewarding. The road to recovery was paved with countless obstacles, but each step forward was a victory in itself. The combination of surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, Erbitux, and Itraconazole has given me a second chance at life. Each treatment played a crucial role in my recovery, and I am thankful for the dedicated medical professionals who guided me through every stage. I'm eternally grateful for the medical advancements that made my recovery possible. The relentless efforts of researchers and scientists have brought about treatments that were once unimaginable. Their work is a beacon of hope for countless patients like me. My journey has been long and arduous. There were days when the pain seemed unbearable, and the future looked bleak. But with the unwavering support of my family and friends, I found the strength to keep going. But it has taught me the importance of perseverance, the power of hope, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Every challenge I faced made me stronger, and every setback was a lesson in patience and determination. I'm also incredibly hopeful for the future of cancer treatment. The advancements in medical technology and research are paving the way for more effective and less invasive treatments. The future holds so much promise for those battling this disease. Repurposing existing drugs like Itraconazole for cancer therapy holds immense promise. This innovative approach could lead to breakthroughs that will change the landscape of cancer treatment forever. It could potentially revolutionize the way we treat this devastating disease. The possibilities are endless, and the hope it brings is immeasurable. My story is a testament to that hope. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of light. Sharing my journey with others has been a source of strength and inspiration. I'm living proof that even in the face of adversity, miracles can happen. The bond I share with my medical team and loved ones has been a cornerstone of my recovery, and that we should never give up on the fight for a healthier tomorrow. Together, we can continue to push the boundaries of what is possible and bring hope to those who need it most.